everybody, so we're going to be talking about 2.2, representing ratios with diagrams. So we talked the other day about seeing things like this, some sort of picture that kind of depicts different categories. So in this it looks like we have some cups of flour, we have some cups of water, and we have some eggs. Now, drawing a super pretty picture, although is really pretty, sometimes isn't practical for math because it might just be taking a little bit too long for what you need when we're talking about getting through some of our math problems. So what you can do with a lot of this stuff and that idea of diagrams is you can simplify just using shapes. So maybe I'm going to take these flowers and I'm going to make them squares. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And maybe then I'm going to take my waters and draw them as circles. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then maybe I'm going to make my eggs triangles. So when they talk about doing these diagrams, the biggest thing with this diagram is we're just trying to show you that it doesn't always have to be super, super complex pictures. You can still get the idea that you're looking for just with drawing basic shapes. And even me, I know my shapes aren't sometimes the prettiest, so colors help me tell the difference. Or blue for water. There we go. Okay, so we're going to use these pictures just to answer some questions about our ratios. So it says if the ratio is 8 cups flour to 6 cups water, we can also write it as blank cups flour to 3 cups water. Now, if we notice, it was 6 cups of water and it became 3 cups of water. So I have to decide, did I scale up? Did I scale down? It looks like I went from 6 to 3. I scaled down. It was getting smaller. The way I was doing it, I was dividing by 2. Because if I take a look at this, if originally I was looking at all 6 cups of water, well, I'm cutting this in half. Maybe now I'm only looking at this half. And when I'm looking at this half, I can see that it's going to be 4 cups flour. Let's get rid of my little dashed lines. 4 cups flour. So my new ratio is 4 cups flour to 3 cups water. So a couple things we're going to check. Which of the following statements are true? The ratio of flour to water is 6 to 8. Okay, so let's count how many flour we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And how many water do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the flour should go with the 8 and the water should go with the 6. But remember, order matters. The order in which those numbers shows up is just as important as the numbers themselves. Because flour comes first, the 8 should come first, but it looks like the 6 comes first. That means A is actually not true. If we look at B though, flour comes first and the word 8 comes first. Water comes second. The number 6 comes second. So that means B does work. We're happy with that one. That one's true. Happy smiley face. All right, so now it's saying for every 3 cups of water, there are 4 cups of flour. So instead of looking at all of my 6 water here, I'm going to split it in half. Oops. Split it down so I'm only looking at half of my diagram. So for every 3 cups of water, there are 4 cups of flour. Okay, 1, 2, 3 cups of water, 1, 2, 3, 4 cups of flour. So yes, that's true. This one says for every 3 cups of flour, there are 4 cups of water. Well, when I have 1, 2, 3 cups of, or we have 4 cups of flour here for 4 cups of water. So because order is important, our numbers are in the wrong spot, and that's not true. All right, so we're going to scroll down and take a look at example. This says 3, but this should say example. Oh, no, it is example 3. Just kidding. We're good. No typo. Okay. So for example 3, we have the ratio of blank to blank to blank. So we're still talking about up here. What were the things that we were comparing? We were comparing flour to water to eggs. And we had 8 total flour, 6 total water, and 2 total eggs. Now, yesterday we talked about this idea of a ratio is comparing 2 or more quantities. In this case, we're showing that we're actually comparing 3 different categories this time. That's okay. So, this is now asking there are blank waters for every egg. All right, and so every in this case is talking about 1. So if I look up here and I have just 1 egg, how many waters will I have? Well, you can see that there are going to be 3. So there are 3 waters for every egg. There are blank cups of flour for every egg. So same thing. When I have 1 egg, I have 4 cups of flour. All right, we're going to keep on scrolling down. So we're going to have some skill review. On the back of your homework for tonight, it's going to talk about some things that have to do with area. So just remember, the area of a parallelogram is base times height. The area of a triangle is half base times height. So they want you to find the area of the following figure. So this figure isn't something that we know because I don't know how to find the area of a house. But a strategy I can do is I can decompose it. I can break it down into 2 shapes that I know. So on the top, I have a triangle. And on the bottom, you can see that I have either a square or a rectangle. I'm going to have to count to be sure. So what I can do is I need to find the area of the triangle. And I need to find the area of my quadrilateral. I'm just going to call him a quadrilateral right now because I don't know if he's a square or a rectangle. All right, so let's start with this guy. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like the base is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. The height is 4. So area equals 5 times 4. Looks like he is a rectangle because my base and my height are different. So area equals 20 square units. All right, now we have to do the same thing for our triangle. Now, if this was 5, I know this guy is also 5, and now I need to know my height. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like my triangle stands 4 tall. So area of a triangle is 1/2 times 5 times 4 for my base and height. I'm going to take half of 4. I know half of 4 is 2 times 5. So my area is 10 square units. This tells me my total area is 30 square units. I did the 10 plus the 20 to get 30 square units. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is all for today. I will see you tomorrow.